that morning, I got up and she was gone. I mean, all her stuff packed up. So I went downstairs. I'm just all confused, and I see a note on the refrigerator. And it just says, "I'm sorry, this isn't working. I had to leave." And I swear, I have met many petty people in my life. I've met so many, but let me tell you, the first thing I did was I opened that door. That refrigerator light turned on, and it was cold. So I have no idea why she would left over that.
Was she in the fridge?
Eventually. Once he found her.
My name is not Kyle Rayner. Thank you very much.
The sound went away from me, so I didn't even hear the punchline.
I mean, we're waiting for it too, so. I kid.
I've heard. I can't even say. I've heard a really horrible refrigerator joke.
Not the one about it running.
No. I don't know. Should I tell you?
How about you just cool that one off for a while?
Jesus.
What's up, everybody?
Which number are we on again?
37?
Yeah.
Is it 37? I got it right. When I didn't even look at YouTube.
Am I right? Are you right? Yeah, you are right. Yes,
Yeah.
37.
Is that a milestone for anything?
No. Well, it's the first time we've ever been there.
We've been 2 episodes in long enough to be president or something.
Huh?
Because you gotta be 35 to be proud. God, my jokes are falling flat.
Is yours the only one? I don't think so.
Zero humor. 0 luck, 0 humor.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a 0 luck story.
I certainly will, and I actually brought that out when we get to my hauls for the week. What is up, everybody? It's Thursday night. It is 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Pacific Time, and that means it's figure action time, and we're coming to you live once again from YouTube. Joining me is the usual cast of characters. But before we get into that, just want to remind everybody, if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you, and if you're watching us live, make sure you pop into that live chat where you can be part of the show. If you like what we're doing, make sure you hit the like button because that helps us out a lot. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to see when we see any more of our. Well, you don't have to subscribe to see any of our stuff, but if you subscribe, you get the whole catalog of everything we've done thus far.
People think higher of you if you subscribe.
They do.
Go to the back catalog and listen to every joke from my first appearance and on. It's worth it. Those first 5 minutes.
If you don't
not only that,
you don't matter.
We are more than just podcasts. And if you're subscribed, you can participate in the contest that we are currently holding.
There's a contest?
There is a contest. On April 5th, we will be announcing a winner where you can win a prize pack from Forgotten Path Games. It's a few games. I know there's a Pokemon trading card game in there, which is still pretty popular. There is a Brawly figure, a couple of different card packs, and also we are tossing in a brand new mint and sealed box Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus Prime.
So it's not that one.
All you have to do is go to episode 36 and make sure you're subscribed and comment hashtag. No, you can't enter. Besides, you already have one. Don't be greedy.
Well, yes, you can enter, but we will not pick you.
Yeah, you can enter, but we won't pick you. So make sure you go to episode 36 and comment hashtag Studio Series Prime. And next week we will be drawing a winner. So
just don't draw it like one of your French girls.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
I was just thinking of the one meme somebody made of draw something in Titanic, and he just his little stick figure Rose with like big bush and giant circular boobs.
Everyone is an artist.
And everyone is welcome to enter the contest. The shipping will be free for North American participants. However, if you're outside the country, we may need assistance with shipping. Again, we'll have to.
AKA will need.
Exactly. So
please don't let your nation be in a state of civil disarray.
Discourse.
Hopefully, there's
he
no.
eventually got that. By the way, the person I gave the Chill Spider-Man to, he finally got it.
Finally, Jesus!
Thank goodness.
And that chapter of your life is over. Now that Very, very happy about that.
I wonder if he's still listening now that he got the toy.
He got his free stuff and booked. He booked.
Stuff is good. Free stuff is better. And of course, if you aren't already, if you are subscribed and you haven't, hit that notification bell so you can see when we put up new content. We'll tell you when we're about to go live, and we'll also tell you when we put up additional things such as B-sides. We may actually have something this weekend because we're going to be I guess Joe's bailed out on us.
Zero Joe.
Maybe we'll see. Well, not till Sunday, right?
Sunday, yeah.
Anything could happen.
Exactly. So a few of us will be meeting up on Sunday. We might have something when we're at the bar. I gotta shoot Alex an invite too, since we're gonna be out that way.
You guys are coming down to North Carolina, so I can join.
We'll meet you halfway. Can you meet us in White Marsh?
Yeah.
I mapped it out. It's exactly halfway.
In other words, both Joe and myself won't be there.
Figuratively.
Yeah, if we actually Skype call you, you'll be there.
I can always make a Joe one of these.
Really?
No, it's Joe, so it's got to be breathing deeply while holding a game controller.
I'm sick.
Come on. Make fun of the guy. He's sick.
Alicia told me I had to be in bed.
That's probably close to the truth.
I knocked over my future trunks. Threw off the whole display.
That would be sad. Don't wish that upon him.
I'm not wishing it.
I'm the sick guy that actually comes to work anyway. And get everybody else.
It affects the rest, yeah.
Well, that way he ensures that he gets the office to himself, all to himself the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna fart out a couple of reviews.
So how you doing, Zero?
I am doing pretty well.
Get off the rhythm here.
I know. Just mix it up. You're frozen with your arm up in the air. You look like you're permanent freeze. No, I'm doing pretty good. Tomorrow's Friday, so looking forward to that. Looking forward to actually enjoying this weekend and getting some of my displays put together. Probably have a few runs to the post office. So I'm actually selling off all of my Marvel SH Figuarts, except for the Donut Iron Man and the Gladiator Thor and Hulk. And it's
all Bree's fault. It's all Bree's fault.
You should keep Thanos. You should keep
Don't
Thanos.
do it.
Thanos is already gone.
Oh,
he
was already.
Yeah, he was the first one to go. But I do have some good deals. I got a Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, Doctor Strange. Winston's already claimed the Ant-Man and Ant. I got the regular Ant-Man, Infinity War Cap. I got a few things on eBay. And of course, I guess when we get to my hauls, I'll talk about my trade with T, because I got something I'd been wanting out of that. And then, of course, I got a couple Transformers up there with a few more to come. I'll be getting rid of all my Combiner Wars combiners. If anybody's looking for a Black Battle Convoy, original Black Battle Convoy, complete in the box, got one of those on there, as well as a Unite Warriors Devastator, which I'm hoping to get a little bit of.
Did you already sell Victorion?
Nate is getting that.
Freaking Nate!
If you want Combiner War, or not Combiner Wars, Titan Return, Predaking, give you a deal on that.
Let me stop. I'm gonna be in the poorhouse. You're gonna have all the money.
Well, I got stuff I gotta buy. I gotta fund MP44. I gotta fund the survey. Maybe get a new hot water heater, and I just
home
Yeah,
ownership.
Yeah,
Home
T,
ownership.
you're about to get hit up with that masterpiece Megatron charge anyway, aren't you? Everybody is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Zero's favorite Marvel person. They come out the same day, apparently.
Really?
It seems like everything is releasing right now. It's like April Fool.
And Night Williams says, "Welcome to Zero Sells Things." That was actually my sales thread on TFW. I'm also debating whether or not I'm going to get rid of my unrestable bastard. I don't know.
If you decide, hit me up first.
Okay.
Please.
Definitely will. So to go down the panel, Dave, how are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty well. It's been a fun, crazy week. Aside from the stuff that I talk about with my hauls, I bought a car today. So
Nice.
Oh, nice. Very good.
don't have it yet, but I bought the car.
Did you do like
can't
one of
believe
those car vending machine deals?
No, it wasn't a Carvana. It was actually, and this is fun just because I am in North Carolina and my wife loves NASCAR. It was actually from Hendrick Automotive, the same guy who owns Hendrick Racing Team. But I'm in love with this car, got a good deal. But as we were doing the final walk around, basically it looked like the previous owner had driven this car into a holly bush. And there was a huge gash down the side. And in the radiator, there was like a hole poked in one of the things. And nobody there had noticed it. And so they're taking it straight to their automotive department. They're pretty much sandblasting and repainting the whole front and going to give it a full buff job. So the car will be looking like $1 million when they let me keep my car till I get the new car. So I'm still driving my 2006 for a little bit longer.
The way you were telling this story and your inflection and the way your speech patterns made me wonder if there was going to be a punchline.
There is no punchline.
Okay.
Not on this one. There is no punchline. There is no joke. I just don't have that car yet. So technically it's not a haul this week. But I will say this car is it's a 2015 Mazda 3 Grand Touring with only 27,000 miles on it.
Nice.
Apparently it was just leased out previously. So I'm like, steal.
Does it transform?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But I do need to get a new Decepticon decal. So
I remember when I first met T, he was driving a minivan, and I was like, "Why don't you call it the T
down by the river?
Down by the river.
Down by the lake, wasn't it?
No.
No, it was down by the. I
was down
live
by
in
the
a
river.
van down by the river.
But aside from that, it's been a pretty good week. Selling stuff, keeping my temper at work. Yay, retail.
I mean, I guess like now's like a good time to get a grill. Like,
It's always a good time to get a grill, ladies and gentlemen.
Always.
Always. Oh, and I've been cooking up a storm. I'm seriously considering doing a cooking channel on YouTube. Forget the toy reviews. I'll talk toys with you guys. I want to spend this summer just videotaping me cooking stuff, and then pretty much do, edit them together and just kind of do like a regular, then just set YouTube to start releasing them towards the end of the summer. So that way I'll have a backlog already going up of content.
we'll see you on Beat Bobby Flay.
Dude, my burgers will kick his ass.
Until you arrive in Flavortown.
I won't watch it unless you send us some samples.
Well, I was going to suggest
with my burgers,
Jordan...
what I do is I actually take garlic and onions and saute them first, and then in a extra virgin olive oil. Then when I got the ground beef going on there, I then pour that sauteed garlic and onions into the burger meat. So it's like extra. You get a lot more. It's a lot more aromatic.
See, I actually I can relate to that. I made ribeye for dinner tonight, and I actually sauteed minced garlic with the ribeye, and then
So he's actually volunteering to cater your housewarming party when you have.
Oh yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
I will. Dude, I will. And Alexa will be like, "Oh wait, he's married."
She watches the show. I'm gonna hear commentary on that.
As well you should, sir. As well you should.
Hey, once she tries my meat, man, that's all I can say.
Oh boy.
There's the challenge, and he is uninvited.
Hey-o.
Uninvited from the gathering.
Honey, don't kill me.
She's going to anyway. You might as well make it worth it.
Yeah, make the best of it.
Make the crime fit the punishment.
What is it? Somebody said Jesus died for our sins, so let's not make him die in vain.
That's words to live by.
I'm Jewish. So anyway.
Moving on.
I don't remember ordering kosher meat. Moving right on. Partsformer, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing quite well. I'm off tomorrow. I was gifted this week. While you got a new car, I got gifted with a broken washer, so I get to have the repair guy come out tomorrow. That's how I'm spending my day off. Just waiting for a repairman. And his repair window, my appointment window, is 9 to 1. So 1:05, I will see him, I'm sure.
It's it's
He
either
might be
that,
watching, so you need to show up early, dude.
that or they show up like right at 9. Like, because last time I had a window, it was for actually the last 2 times we've had windows. First was for the furniture redelivery, and they showed up. Their window was like 7 to 1, and they showed up at like, I got a knock on the door at 6:59.
That would be lovely if they showed up right away.
I didn't want them to show up at 6:59. I was like, yeah, these guys aren't going to show up. Yeah, that was...
Nope, I definitely want these guys to show up as soon as possible. So if that's what's going to happen, I am all for it.
You had to open the door in your pajamas.
I mean, I can get dressed. It can go down in your head however you want it to. I mean,
Not touching that one. Not touching that one.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I would be saying tomorrow if I did open my pajamas. Is I'm not touching anything. Y'all just go downstairs, fix the washer, and goodbye.
Right on. Well, hopefully,
What the heck is that? That's weird.
hopefully it goes smoothly.
Well, that's because there's a very large range of repair bill costs it could be. So I know what I'm hoping for, and I know what my luck is. So we're gonna see if maybe one wins over the other.
I mean, I don't think I've known you to have bad luck. Of course,
I'll tell you tomorrow.
In your book, it's like he's gonna come up and you're gonna be like, "Is this gonna cost me more than $1?"
That's true.
And then you're gonna say, bad luck.
Well, I'll tell you this: it's $80 just to have him come out and look at it. So I'm already into the whole.
Yeah, actually,
jeez, I'm undercharging for fireplaces.
Actually, it's some pretty good luck. I'll get into that. Actually, it's a quick story. It's like I paid off my American Express bill in full when I got my bonus, and I got my statement. My statement was for like $69, and it was like interest charges. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So Lex was like, "Oh, well, sometimes if you pay off a bill, it's you still have to pay off the previous interest." I called them up today, and they're like, "Yeah, well, due to your outstanding payment history, we'll go ahead and we'll waive that charge." I'm like, "Thank you."
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
When does that ever happen?
Apparently today.
Touche.
Zero luck.
Yeah. So we'll get to the last member of the panel. You know him. You love him. We hope. You probably clicked on his videos, and he's looking very sleepy tonight. So we're going to call him Celestial TMan.
Hi, everybody. My voice, it actually kind of almost sounds right if I don't listen to it all the way. But I'm all right, I guess.
You look like you're passed out on an Avengers background. I know it's a pillow.
Yeah, and I'm playing with an Avenger. But we'll talk about that in the halls unless we start the hall with me.
You know what? We'll mix things up. We'll go ahead and we'll start with you.
Yeah.
Yay! Since Zero's giving crap away, Marvel-wise,
that was a trade.
He decided to trade me this lady, and I love her. And he also traded me this guy, and I don't love him.
You always surprise me with the stuff that you like and you don't like. Like I'll be like, yeah, T's gonna like this, and then he's like,
He's super stiff. Like he has double jointed knees, but they don't even bend more than 90 degrees.
His hips were the main offender when I had him.
Yeah, he could barely kick forward. He barely crunches forward. If they would have had a good Chadwick Boseman face like they have this good Scarlett Johansson face, I might let it slide a little bit. Like when I take pictures of her, I can't get the face to look like this, but now you can see like the skin tone and everything.
Yeah.
She's looking right into my soul. Honey, don't kill me.
What else? Zero found this for me because I haven't been able to find her anywhere. And I did a almost mute unboxing video for her today.
It's funny though. Your description says review, and I was like, I was gonna message you about that. I'm like, it says unboxing review.
Because I gave an opinion at the end.
Oh.
What else? Nate Simmons sent me this nice Mezco bag.
Oh, that is nice.
It is huge. It's like straps, just one of those ones you take to a convention so you can carry it on your back. And inside of there, he had a box with this for my birthday.
Aww.
PlayStation Classic. So I was playing. I need a different thumb drive so I can do that hack. I wasn't able to. It wasn't working for me.
I'll link you to the one I bought, the little SanDisk Cruiser.
But I was playing Super Puzzle Fight. I haven't played that in a while.
Most underrated game on there is IQ.
I don't think I remember that, but I never tried to play it, I don't think.
Puzzle Fighter was on Android for a little bit, but they took it off.
Yeah, I didn't have it. I'm about to lie to you. When I had it, Android didn't exist yet. I think I had it on my Game Boy Advance. Joe found this dude for me, who, if you don't like Constructicons and movie Constructicons, and if you don't like Want the Complete Devastator, yeah, you probably aren't gonna like this thing. It's alright, but the articulation is weird. It's not like he has real elbows. He has arms, but they don't work like arms work.
Wait until that steam shovel comes out.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The like barely a robot mode.
Oh, and the one that turns into a giant wheel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, him. Oh, yeah. And the bot supplier sold me this for a good price. I haven't reviewed it yet. X-Trans bots,
Savant
skids. This is like the best car masterpiece I've ever played with, besides his face, which I did slightly modify to make better. So the car is definitely good. The robot, it's like the best X-Transbots figure, I think.
Yeah,
I was able to transform it without instructions, so that's good.
You can also store that scooter in his robot mode too.
Yeah, you can put the guns in there as well.
Yeah.
And Dano can ride in style if you want.
Yeah.
Can he though? Style?
Yeah. And the reason why Nate gave me that Mezco bag is because I got this dude, which you probably watched if you watch my channel. Or if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen my pictures.
And was it worth the wait?
Actual release blade.
Come on. Yeah, it was super worth it. It's the best Mezco I ever played with, which haven't been a lot. The only thing that I could have swore the other ones had drop down hips. This doesn't. But I like the articulation. He can move perfectly in these clothes. They don't look messed up and wrinkly or baggy and out of shape where it looks like they have a saggy diaper and whatnot.
The jacket looks really good on that.
Yeah, and the jacket is really form-fitting for something this small. I mean, it restricts a little bit, but if you just work with it and rotate the arms inside of the sleeve, they can pretty much get into whatever pose you want. And I was shocked that the zipper can actually still work. And I definitely like the face sculpts and whatnot.
It's got bendy wire in it too, right?
Oh, yeah. The whole side, even where the zipper is, it takes the shape. So that was fun. I figured that out by accident when I put him on the bike. And I got the coat to flare out looking like he's really riding. And the magnet for this holster right here is like so strong, it's crazy. I do have one issue with the sword coming off of the holster, but I think I figured out how to. I was putting it on wrong, but it's still not a super duper secure fit. The fact that they give you, I mean, you're paying a lot of money, but they give you a lot of accessories. Like he comes with the 3 spikes. You know, if it was Hasbro or something, he would only have just these 3 spikes and that would be it. But in the packaging, you get 6 just in case you drop it. Then
Hasbro, they'd be molded on there so you can't take them out.
Yeah, not painted.
That as well. And he has 4 pairs of sunglasses.
Oh, crap.
So if you ever lose them, you don't have to worry. You got 3 more. And if you lose those, something's wrong with you anyway.
Or you can share them with other figures.
Yeah, that. Which I showed off in the review. And 6 pairs of hands. Like I've been collecting SH figure arts for a while. They typically only come with like maybe 3 or 4.
So does this mean more Mezco in your future?
Yeah. I've already had him and Punisher were my first 2 people who I pre-ordered, and both of them got pushed back and pushed back. I don't know when the Punisher is coming out.
Is that the Netflix Punisher?
Yeah. And now I'm to the point where I'm debating on whether I still want it. Because he doesn't have the haircut he has in season 2.
Mm.
Yeah, but season 1 was still better anyway.
I'm so far liking season 2 more, to be honest. I'm more invested. Season 1, there was certain stuff that I had me invested, like the dude's family, and seeing if Punisher was going to wind up hooking up with that man's wife. I was like, please don't go there. I won't spoil it for the people who haven't watched it yet.
One thing I will say about Netflix Punisher, not even a joke. This is not me being any kind of humor or anything. That seriously has the most realistic sex scenes of any media of any ever put down.
I think all of the Netflix shows that I've seen.
I'm just saying.
Even the beginning of Luke Cage, that first episode, I was like, whoa, this is way more graphic than I would imagine. But I think that's it for me.
Right on.
Y'all seen all the other stuff I bought, the Siege crap that I got last week, I think.
Well, I mean, you were in the middle of that haul, so or in the middle of the store.
Yeah.
Right on. All right.
Oh wait, I did get Siege Ironhide. I got that Sunday, so I didn't show that off.
But you got the review up though.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
Right on. And Parts, how about you?
Let's see. When Joe was out shopping, he actually came across a stash of Studio Series 38. I think he found 4 of them, and he ended up buying 3, and he got 1 for me. So I've got the Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus, which is really nice. The plastic is, I don't think the plastic's Siege quality. I think we talked about this before. But the engineering is really cool on it. I quite enjoy it. I think it's just complicated enough to be worth it to transform over and over. I mean,
oh, it's my favorite Siege figure.
Yeah, it's my only
favorite studio. It's my favorite studio figure.
That's what I meant. That's my only studio figure, and I
really
like it. Yep. Well, you know me, I'm not big on the movie bots. So.
Yeah, I could have sworn I thought I remembered you having one.
I was planning on getting Sideswipe, but I've seen enough reviews of him where he was kind of meh, so I just decided to skip it.
Starscream is good. Starscream is
yeah,
good.
But I hate that design of Starscream. I just don't like it. It's the robot mode I don't like. I mean, the F-22 is pretty cool looking, but the robot mode's just odd. I
thought you had them because you brought me Bumblebee and Witchajiggy. I didn't know you didn't buy yourself any.
Witchajiggy? What?
The first studio series Bumblebee and Stinger.
Oh,
you found them for me, so I didn't know you didn't actually buy yourself any.
Nope, haven't bought myself any. I found Six Gun in Walmart the other day, so I got him. He's quite cool. Jordan and I were talking before the show, and I think we agree, or I said that my maybe unpopular opinion on this guy is that I think he's the most fun in robot mode. I actually don't. I'm not crazy over his parts and adding his parts to other robots. I mean, it's okay, but it seems like anytime that I actually go to add a part somewhere, there isn't a peg where I want it to be, or it just doesn't seem to be intuitive enough. Like, I don't know. It's not bad. I think the robot mode is the most fun, so that's usually what I stick to. And his alt mode is bullshit, but everybody knows.
I think it's kind of cool to like pop them apart, and, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely play. No, I'm glad it can do that, and I'm glad to have the option. But I guess when it comes down to it, I would rather have him on the shelf like that than in pieces donated to other robots being cannibalized.
That's why you buy multiples.
I barely bought this one. Come on, man.
Yeah. His name in the comments. I can't see the comments.
I kind of like the hand, the fist of justice mode of him.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
Yes, I agree. That is worth it. The big smash fist is the best, and it works well with Ironhide, which is I have not seen Ironhide in the stores at all. I've come across Wave 2 several times in Walmart and Target. I found Six Gun in Target on Wednesday, and I have not seen Ironhide at all. I think he's probably the first one to get plucked up, and
it's kind of weird, isn't it?
I could be wrong, but I think the case is 2 of each except him. Yeah. I thought I saw that was the case pack. So if someone knows better, and I'm sure they do, they'll tell us. But I think he's one short.
2 of everyone would make more sense.
Yeah, it's Hasbro. There's no such thing as sense in the wave distribution.
I think they come eight in the case.
I don't know.
Okay,
could be, could not be. I'm not sure.
TMan, Hasbro short pack stormtroopers.
Yeah, the thing you should troop build, they short packed.
There was an Entertainment Earth listing for a pack of Siege Wave 2 deluxes, and I think he was only listed in once. I could be making all that up, but regardless, he's my favorite so far of the wave. He's really fun to mess with. He's really fun in both modes, even though the alt mode is kind of a space van, but we all knew that it's Ironhide.
It's cool they made him a space van though, because what was he in Combiner Wars? Like that remold of yeah.
He's still got though, like, yeah, he's hollow on the backside, but he does a lot of he is bigger.
Aren't we all hollow on the backside?
I'm hollow on the inside, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun though. Like, he's posable, and he's definitely the one that I've had him on my desk at work all week since I got him. Definitely worth messing with. And I like too that he actually comes with the missile launcher that turns into a hammer. Anymore, I feel like I appreciate these robots or any action figure that comes with something besides a gun. Because it's just like guns are done all the time and it's fine. But when you actually, like the Cliff Jumper, the Toro that comes with the staff, that's what he's posed with on my shelf, is with the staff, because it's something different than just holding a blaster.
I like Ironhide's surprise storage area.
Yes.
Actually, battle stage, it's like they worked in the battle stage into his truck backpack.
And it works quite well for most things, as you posted pictures of that, didn't you? And I know you had some of it in your review.
And was that Joe's picture earlier with the little bumblebee in it?
Yes, from his desk at work.
Did he put that on Instagram? He should.
I think he did. Yeah. If he was here, he'd say, "Well, I made a picture that was pretty cool."
Yeah, typically, if he has the Joe Crab thing on it, it's on Instagram.
The last thing I think if I'm looking around, I think I've covered everything. Is that I met Jordan at work after work real quick to exchange action figures, and he ended up gifting me a PS4 Spidey, which I'm sitting here messing with.
Sweet. Everybody gets a Spidey.
Basically.
I never saw that Spidey in North Carolina.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Oh, man. Did you want it?
Kind of. I wasn't pressed for it, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't see him anymore.
GCD. You know. Geek compulsive disorder. I'm looking at my Spider-Man shelf, and it's not on there.
And that bothers you? Bothers you greatly?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty much out of Marvel Legends, so I just got this to have a cool Spider-Man. He was kind enough to offer it, so I said, why not? Free is my price. So.
With it being a video game character, too, you'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that works both.
You're never out of Marvel Legends.
I kind of am. Like, I went through and canceled all the next wave that's coming up. I needed to focus my collection a little more. And then, you know, add 3 more lines that I'm not going to start collecting. So, and I'm on my hunt for my first Mezco, which I think is going to be the Keaton Batman, but we'll see.
Did you see the black suit one that came out today?
Yeah, the special edition or the exclusive Sovereign Knight that came out that had the Keaton suit on, Keaton-esque suit on. It looked really cool. Foosh had a review up today. Man, I had that pre-ordered from BBTS, and it was one of my cancellations, and I kind of wish I'd kept it. But then the 89 Batman's coming out, so I wonder if they're going to have the guts on the Mezco 89 Batman, if they're going to have the guts to give him 0 neck articulation. Of all the figures that you could go and rotate his neck and be like, hey, this shit doesn't move at all. But, okay, yeah, I get it now. Like, that's the one where I'm going to forgive it. Even if it's just a fucking joke. Like, they'll never do it, but I would appreciate that.
They might.
They
the
might.
Prototype is like that, right?
The what?
The prototype is like that, right?
I don't know. I never noticed.
I don't think it has a neck seam from the pictures I've seen.
Like, he just has alternate heads that actually have it turned slightly to the right and slightly to... No, his eyes. His eyes are shifted left and his eyes are shifted right.
They must just take his face off then.
That's a different movie. Anyway. One more thing I forgot. T was kind enough to give my son a Walgreens. It was Walgreens exclusive, right? The Mickey Mouse and Pluto set from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I was about to try to say Mickey's. Oh boy, but I can't.
Oh boy.
So he gave me that set. The Pluto and the Mickey went to my son for his little collection, and the Keyblade went to me because I have lots of figures that need to hold a Keyblade. So, and he don't know the difference. So.
And you got a play school GoBot.
Yeah, he figured out how to transform it within seconds. So, I was proud. I'm out.
Got a cute
That's
video.
All right. Dave, what'd you get?
Okay, gentlemen. If people watching, get comfy. It's been a good week. Starting off with some of the imports, we got Reveltech Deathstroke from Toy Ninja. Love those guys. Got a 25% off sale. So Deathstroke, $60 shipped. Cannot complain. Speaking of more things that you can't complain about unless you're Jordan. Storm Collectibles. I got Smoke and Rain. Also got these guys $60. Toyco Sales Group. Fantastic group.
What about Fire?
Huh?
Smoke, Rain, Fire?
Now I got Ermac.
Did they sing the song September?
Anyway. I got those guys. Then, you probably saw me messing with him. Did get Charles Xavier. And if you've been following my Instagram, you'll know I'm for some stupid reason, I decided to repaint the chair.
Oh, you seem so happy with the decision when you talked to me earlier. What happened?
Oh, I am happy with the decision.
Okay.
It just took 3 days for this thing to go right because I got this gloss paint that clumped a little that I had to sand off a little and repaint it on there, which looks gorgeous. And now I just can't wait to start putting all the details on. And then, because I got Xavier, we also got Rider Deadpool, which is also bare plastic. But when you look on the box art, you can see that the scooter is painted. Like you can actually look at the picture and you can see the brush strokes that this scooter was painted.
Do you think putting like a clear coat on there would just alleviate that?
No, I'm
Really?
gonna need to paint this thing.
Okay.
They got stickers.
He is very determined, so I wouldn't even go any further than that.
I heard the determination.
No, with these Rider series, it's weird. I've got the worst compulsion. I repainted Ghost Rider's bike. I repainted Wolverine's bike. I don't do much customization, but these things I have to do for some reason. And it's like the only thing I'm decent at for customization. Then earlier this week, I did get Siege Wave 2. I've got Prowl on right now. Prowl is the only one I've got unboxed because it was recommended that should be the one to open up.
And how did you feel about him?
These feet are weird but cool. And I did panel line his chest. So I really think it needed that. But aside from that, I really like him. I really like this pearl white. I like the Cybertronian on him. Obviously, they're going to be turning this guy into Smokescreen, and I really like the Barricade repaint. So
Barricade version that I might end up getting.
And I'm really happy they're bringing Barricade into the Transformer main line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's one of the characters I've always wanted. Now, Hasbro, I know you pay attention to our show. If you give us Knockout and Siege, I will freaking love you guys to death.
And they may. They've been digging deep.
And then I also got Chromia, 6-gun, and he's floating around here somewhere. I did get Ironhide, who has not been unboxed yet. And, okay, this story's funny. I told the guys in the chat, but you people, our listeners at home need to hear this. I almost didn't get Ironhide. When I was at the Target, I saw the 3, grabbed them in my basket. I'm like thinking, how could someone leave Prowl, but not, take Ironhide, but leave Prowl? So I went back for a second run.
That's what I did.
Huh?
That's what I did.
Yeah. So I went back for a second run, and I'm looking at the display, and all of a sudden this guy comes up from behind me. Now, for those of you, no one here has ever met me in person. I am a short person. I am just under 5'6". This guy was about 6'2". There was some kind of display. I can't remember the toy, if it was Fortnite stuff or whatever, but they're the cardboard displays. And apparently Ironhide had fallen behind him, and he was just outside of my field of view. So this guy reaches over me and reaches behind there and pulls out Ironhide, and I'm just like, son of a bitch. I mean, he was just out of my view. Fortunately, they had another one in Target. I asked if they had another one in back, and they did. But yeah, I almost missed out on Ironhide for just being too damn short.
It bites us short people in the ass. It happens sometimes. Nothing you can do about it, man. I'm
Eat
short.
more mushrooms.
I hate mushrooms.
Mushrooms don't work into me, but I walked into a wall and a bunch of rings shot out of me instead.
No. So you're part of a different franchise.
I had no idea you were a furry.
Oh, fuck.
You knew. Deep down, you knew. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, I have one more thing I forgot about.
What's that?
Does it relate to furries? Because that makes me nervous.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, too.
What is that?
Mech Fan Story 6-shot. I think his name is Sky Ninja.
6 Ninja.
6 Ninja. I couldn't understand what the heck these letters said. I'm like, what the hell? Because that doesn't look like an S.
Was that an acquisition from Jordan?
Yeah.
That was your waffle win, wasn't it?
That was the first waffle one I had. I just, I don't really do Legends, and that was one where I definitely, there's some figures I'm like, oh, T would really like this, and then he's like indifferent about it.
Enjoy those waffles while you can, folks.
No, they're
I think that's
they're done. Yeah,
I haven't seen a waffle notice in forever.
Yeah, from what I understand, a lot of people didn't get their waffles.
Oh shit!
I think they're still trying to do them, but I don't know.
We'll save that one for another show, I take it.
Yeah, it's
that one's a whole can of worms.
The topic of independent sellers, I think we should do. But as for me,
can of waffles.
I got
delicious.
My Ironhide from Amazon today.
Sweet.
Which he's all right. I did do a fix, so a lot of people probably noticed the legs, the leg panels are a little bit loose out of the box and fall off. All you need to do is take a 2mm screwdriver, pop the panel off, and go into the insides of the holes and bore just a little bit and do some test fits. I think before we started the show, Matt did his with a drill bit. Did you do the other side?
Yep.
You did
the other side was not as successful. The other side's going to need a little more modding. I think I'm going to have to take that peg and extend it a little bit.
Yeah. So both of mine.
You think with those screwdrivers that gets packed with all the little third-party stuff would work?
I don't
That's
know.
Too small.
Might be too small.
Yeah.
Too small.
If you have a precision set of screwdrivers, I recommend specifically using a 2mm.
But since both of y'all are playing with them, do the panels lock onto it's a tiny micro tab on his leg. Does the panel keep that shut?
Matt and I have the same exact issue where the right leg doesn't, but the left leg does.
And actually, I can even tell you further. So the one side that does peg in for me, it's cold. I'm in the basement of my house. It's cold down here. It doesn't peg in now. And when I had it at work where it's warm in my office, it pegged in just fine. So
yeah, mine never, on both sides, never pegged. And I did that fix. I can hold it by the flap like you were just doing. But when I shut it all the way on the side of his leg, if I push on it a little bit, it pops right off. So I just have to be delicate.
Have you guys ever shined a black light onto the siege boxes?
I don't handle it.
I've seen the pictures of it where you can see different patterns and whatnot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know the Soundwave one had the lamppost thing on there, but I just was looking at the Ironhide one, and it's got if you look at it in the right light and reflects, you can see Cybertronian, and there's a symbol here, and it says Transformers at the base.
So
this is some of the nicest packaging they've ever done. It's almost a shame you throw it out. Almost.
Until you're buried in boxes, buried alive.
I had a trade with T, and I've known for a while he hasn't been too thrilled with this figure, but it's one that's been on my short list for a while, and it's like a figure that I was like I wanted it, but I didn't want to I didn't want to pay the money for it, and now I'm glad I have it, and I think the trade worked out because I'm fairly impressed by the guy.
Never transform him.
With me, I think he's going to be probably straight to the shelf.
Whenever you play with him, make sure that those leg panels are still on him when you go to put it back up.
Yeah, I've been looking at those panels right now. I know exactly what you're talking about, like on the tank treads.
That would make a good Flame Toys model.
Yeah,
that bludgeon.
This is a really impressive piece. Like it looks nice. Like I'm probably gonna stick him with my IDW stuff and just kind of have him next to Overlord and the DJD. I think he'll look pretty cool, just kind of standing in the back, looking all imposing.
He's really cool. He's just annoying to manipulate.
Yeah. And also when I met up with T, I picked up the 6-gun from him.
Oh yeah.
Who I like as Matt was saying, we've got the kind of the same opinion on him. He's a really cool robot. There's cool stuff you could do with his individual components. I think that things like breaking down his leg, for instance, this is a far more convincing gun, just what his leg turns into than anything you could get out of COG. COG was really a up tier imagination. And I do like the fact that the individual components of 6-gun actually form pretty convincing weapons. All the rifles that are on him. And you can make that Mega Fist of Doom. I think that there's some really imaginative stuff with him. It's just his alt mode is kind of and how you get him there just isn't really a mess of fun. As I mentioned, I met up with Matt, and I have to get every single Optimus Prime that comes out. Joe
You
had found
kids
me
get
that.
around.
I know, right? Joe had found me the Studio Series Optimus. I'm very, very glad to have that in my collection. And last but not least, everybody knows I have issues with QC, and Nate Simmons and I have been chatting. He was cool enough to, we're sending stuff back and forth, and he was cool enough to get me a G2 Screamer from TFCon.
That looks so nice.
And,
you should just keep that in the package.
I have
Leave it in the box.
no choice but to keep it in the package at this time, because this has been, and this is going to get us into our first topic of the evening. This has been an absolute QC nightmare for me. And, I'm very glad that Nate went out of his way to get that for me. But like when I took the figure out, the first thing oh wow! So Nate's for the Susanoo made the rounds. It was originally Pia's, so that's like the fourth or fifth Pia figure that I own, because I have his Fans Toys Sludge. I have his Ricochet, the Maka Toys one, and I think I have a third figure I bought from him.
We should get him on the show, so you should tell him that.
Yeah, I've been trying to track him down. I mean, I talk to him on Twitter every now and then. But back to Screamer, like this figure actually literally fell apart in my hands. Like the intake on the chest, it fell off, and there's a screw inside. So it's like trying to screw it back on, and I find the screw stripped, and it won't get back on. And then just as I'm doing it, there's a piece that's pinned in. It falls off the pin. It's I was able to pop it back on by bending the metal, but it's like that flap there. It's already fallen off in the box again, so it's not really in there. I'm like, how does a piece that's pinned through metal just fall off? The hip skirts fell off, and there was no tension on them. I'm like, wow.
Are those packagings resealable?
Yeah, that's completely resealable. It's little clips right there, and there, and fortunately, we're gonna get this one sorted out. Like Nate was cool enough; he got in touch with Brandon from the Chosen Prime, so we're gonna get it all sorted out. And Nate, no, I know you didn't break it. It was packed very, very well. So anybody that buys anything from Nate, like everything is like military
Super
grade,
bubble wrap.
Yeah, bubble wrapped. It's like mummified, basically. So,
did you call the Chosen Prime and say, "Do you know who I am"?
And actually, well, I've talked to Brandon before as well, so good people to deal with. I've got like a laundry list of things I've bought from him, so I have no idea. I have no concerns. Basically he'll get it taken care of. But yeah, I just I have that nickname with you guys, Zero Luck. I've had a lot of QC issues with figures just right out of the box, but this one just really takes the cake, like in terms of just crumbling.
Yeah, that must have been the one they dropped at the factory and was like, let's just throw it back in the packaging anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's my best guess. It sucks too because it's a beautiful looking figure.
Yes, and you're looking forward to it forever.
Yeah, like everybody knows, I'm like I'm big on G2.
And that one's got all the fixes to it, right?
Yeah, it's got like the
except one
wing panels and the clip. Yeah, except one.
Fix two things and break four. Yeah,
it falls apart.
So yeah, my nose cone stays on, but the chest falls off. So,
no, the nose cone doesn't stay on because when that chest panel pops off, the whole assembly comes with it.
But your wings are filled, right?
Yeah, the wings are filled. But they were all loose as hell. I'm like, what is up with this thing? They was it like Office Space where someone in the factory just took out all their aggressions for just beat the thing to shit. So
let's say it's like a porn star had a really bad surgeon. The chest is falling apart. The nose is falling off, and but the other parts are filled in just right professionally.
So I do want to get into our QC talk here, and going from this, I know you guys don't have the terrible third-party luck that I do, but I wanted to know, we're 2 waves in. How do you guys feel about Siege, and how do you feel about the QC with Wave 2? Now, Dave, I know you haven't opened all yours yet, but I think there's a difference between Wave 1 and Wave 2.
Siege in general, I think Wave 2 is a step back, both in plastic quality, waffles, and both. And list multiple things, but plastic quality, waffles, and QC. I think everything is a little bit worse off because of the first wave, in my opinion, the Prime and all that. They wowed people. They wowed me with how few waffles there were, how good quality everything felt. And then Wave 2 is just all of a sudden every figure needs some kind of tweak. Well, not every, but it's pretty. I don't know. Pretty decent.
Wave 1, the biggest thing for me was Megatron's stupid neck panel. And Cog didn't really feel like great. But all the other figures were
Cog's
good.
plastic was good, but I just didn't think that things pegged in too well.
Yeah, see, I don't think Cog's plastic's all that good. I think the fingers on his handpiece are cheap feeling and his feet are cheap feeling.
Huh.
But I say that too. Like I forgot about Megatron's neck, and then Starscream is actually Wave 1, is he not? So
no, Starscream Wave 2.
Oh, it is Wave 2. Okay, I take that back.
Cog can't even hold his guns
because without floor polish.
Yeah, no, that was my biggest issue with Cog. And his legs, they don't feel like they peg in securely. His alt mode doesn't. That joke of an alt mode doesn't quite hold together that well.
I'm curious, which guns on Cog do you not hold for you guys?
The 2 rifles, like
the black ones.
Yeah,
because I gotta tell you, oh shit! I was gonna say.
You really hammered it home there, man.
Well, yeah. Okay, well, we'll say like this one is in.
Not him. Cog.
Okay. Oh, Cog.
Yeah, Cog can't hold it.
Sorry, yeah, 6
Cog can't hold it.
Yeah.
I know Transformers. Just I'll stop talking.
6 Guns, his body stays together more, but parts of them I feel like are really cheap feeling. So it's like for me, those were my 2. I got Cog first, and then I got 6 Gun first for Wave 2. And I was like, man, these both feel kind of cheap right out the gate. Now I got Ironhide, and he's bigger, which is exciting, but those panels falling off was not exciting.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's what's interesting is like, so Wave 1 I think had really solidly constructed bots. Things were pinned in for the most part, and that was good. But some of the the 5mm pegs were just not toleranced correctly. In Wave 2, everything I've got, like all the 5mm pegs, maybe with the exception of Ironhide's gun, but that's not because of tolerances; it's because it's too short. And actually, I haven't had any issues getting him to hold it. But I think like the peg on the bottom of his bazooka is a little short, and his thumb is sculpted up high, which I like. Actually, no, I can get him to.
It seems to have a locking point. Like once you get it at a certain point, it seems to snugly fit and not be a problem.
Yeah.
One of my figures I had a problem with. You didn't show it in your haul, I don't think. Laserbeak and Ravage.
Oh yeah, you gave those to me too.
Ravage, one of his front legs just comes right off. It like clips in, but it just came right off. I'm like, I can't suggest that set for little kids at all.
Really?
Especially the Ravage. I'm like, not only is it difficult to transform because you got to do it like specifically, but with those little arms just coming right off, I don't like that. They're too tiny, I think. If they're a little bit bigger, they would be able to be manipulated easier.
Well, I mean, as I said, Soundwave I think is fine. Soundwave is, with the exception of these little gun pods that pop off a little too easily, he's fine. Starscream, with the exception of the chest, I think is fine. I mean, he's got those filler panels in the legs, which is really nice. So that kind of takes care of some of the hollowness to it.
Yeah.
I like how they handled his hands. They could have easily have put the fold-in hand on there and put a hollow arm in there.
Starscream's amazing in that ballpark.
So I can't say. So Starscream and Soundwave are fine for Wave 2. All I have opened of my Voyagers has been Prowl. And yeah, Prowl is definitely on the lighter side. I mean, he's got these really, I mean, as I said, I've been just started handling him recently. He's got these really hollow. Can you get your Savant out of my face, please? Thank you.
How many times did they say that on the set of Rain Man?
But I mean, now that you got, it's kind of like one of those things where, like, as soon as you start pointing out to me, it's like, okay, I'm getting a little bugged about this. That he's got these super hollow back legs. When I think of how Sideswipe was, there's definitely less in Prowl than there was in Sideswipe. I don't have the scale, but I bet Sideswipe weighs more than Prowl. So
his doors don't angle at all, right?
They can.
Sorry, angle up.
No, they don't.
Okay.
No, there's no angle up. I kind of wish they had other weapons for me to put in his shoulders. I know that Smokescreen and Barricade are going to have them, but dang it, I got these gaps. I'd like to be able to have something that uses them. But
it's weird that they cheaped out on that. I guess the light bar counts as the guns.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. He's not cheaped out on the paint. I'm seeing paint in places. I mean, like not the headlights, but like the blinkers have a little bit of yellow paint on them. His torso has
white paint.
Huh?
Is all of the white paint?
No, that's white plastic, and then there's a little bit of yellow paint. It won't show up on my camera, but trust me, there's like a little bit of yellow paint on what the front blinkers would be, which I think is really good. There's actually a little bit of paint, like just a fine line for his mouth, so he has a defined mouth. They could have given him light piping, but he's got painted blue eyes. So he's got the little yellow chevrons on his forearms, which is pretty nice. So I can't complain on that. I mean, he's got the detail, but it's just those hollow legs. But again, how he transforms, he kind of needs it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't opened the other 3 yet, so I can't make the call. So
I feel in some weird way that they plan out the hollowness. They're like, we got to make him hollow somewhere. So they purposely make the transformation involve the hollowness. So you will feel like, oh, there's no other way they could have did this because he transforms like this. But really, that was the plan.
At least that gives him some payment for the engineering because he's got the articulation. Prowl you'll see it. Prowl's got a thigh swivel. He's got a single knee joint that almost goes all the way, that can kick himself in the back of the head.
The ankle pivot.
He's got the ankle pivot.
Does he have rotating wrists?
Yes, he does. So I'm saying there's things you can't really complain about.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Him and Ironhide.
You can complain, but I really have no fault onto it. Got my stand port in the back, so yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying about Starscream, definitely. He is very solid. The plastic feels good on Starscream, man. Them having like 0 waffles that I can think of and wrist swivel, but the only thing they dropped the ball on was the chest. It's like I wish that if they didn't drop the ball on the chest, you could be able to say he was 100% perfect.
Just that one pin.
Now the guns, they do feel like Cyberverse plastic.
Well, whose guns? Starscream's?
Starscream.
No, I didn't think they were bad.
Mine don't peg into his shoulders all that tight.
Mine
and they feel really, really light. No wonder are they going to use those for other characters because they don't specifically look like null rays. They even have scopes on them.
No, yeah, they're like sniper rifles almost.
Mm-hmm.
Hey T, do you have Ultra Magnus?
Yeah.
If you get Prowl, put his missiles on Ultra Magnus. They actually look really good. I mean, put Ultra Magnus' missiles on Prowl. They actually look really good.
Can they go on his shoulders or his like beside his head?
Not quite, but his shoulder, the way the transformation goes, you can actually, I can make him vertical if I wanted to be. But they won't go up in here.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was complaining. I wish they had some kind of ultimate thing for me to tab into there. But just saying, if you want those shoulders, you can give him a shoulder rocket.
Now, beside his head, are they 5mm ports?
No,
No.
they're these oval pegs. So that's why I said that's like my only design flaw, because they left them in there, and I wish like somebody like Six Gun or something happened to have like a port that could stick into there.
That's weird.
So.
You could have even put the 2 red things from Six Guns up there if they were 5mm ports.
That's what I'm saying. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
So,
just holding the difference between, like, I posted a picture the other night of Ironhide doing the smash on Starscream with the fist from Six Gun. And I realized that posing Starscream was beautiful because he holds every single little twist and turn that you put on him. And then Ironhide, even like, he's not bad, but it's not near the tightness that Starscream's got. It's just a little bit, like, as long as Wave 3 doesn't continue to degrade, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. But
It's
as long
like
as this isn't a trend.
It's like a little bit of a waxy plastic they used on him.
It's not the same, is it? Like, just holding the 2 here, it's, I don't know.
But I'll say, like, the paint on these guys, it's somewhat better than the first wave. Like little things here, like on Ironhide, right? Like they painted all the lights white on his front bumper, and like the little touch of red. There's a lot of stuff that they did that they didn't have to do, and like here up top, like you wouldn't even see these vents, and they're highlighted in silver.
Yeah.
And really, really considerate little touches.
The inside of Starscream's wings with the Decepticon logo and the red stripe. That's a big part of it. Yeah.
I mean, even like the battle damage on the outside of his wings, I thought was really well done.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you too, like the battle damage it hasn't bothered me on any figure yet. I know some people it does. It doesn't bother me.
I personally like it, to be honest with you.
I can take it or leave it, but it doesn't take away from the figure.
Combiner Wars, they wouldn't even dream of painting the inside of his waffle wings.
No.
And I forgot to mention this dude, Rampage. He's made with better plastic than the other Studio Series wings.
Well, yeah, the first one, scrap metal, he's made of really, really high quality plastic. So it gives me kind of hope for the Devastator as a whole, that it's going to be, made of a sturdy, solid plastic.
We've all been hoping that Devastator would have been made of sterner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
30 says in the chat that he found Siege Galaxy Convoy. So.
Where?
We're out there.
What city?
So, Chuck, you're in New York now, correct? I think he had moved. I know he's originally in Connecticut.
Well, Galaxy Convoy's going to be made like Ultra Magnus, so I got faith in that.
But he said he definitely brings a good point that they need to stop cheaping out on pins. I mean, I can't really see pins being that expensive, and they really add to the longevity of a figure and the durability. And I think if you're having issues selling toys, so he says Walmart in upstate New York. But if you're trying to sell toys to a broad demographic, which includes collectors and kids, you can't put figures on the shelves that are going to fall apart in kids' hands, because then the parents are going to see, okay, this isn't a good value for money. And suddenly, you already have a brand that doesn't have anything other than the live action movies. and Cyberverse and GoBots or Rescue Bots. So it's like it's great that they're doing as much as they are with the Generations and Siege line, and they need the fiction, and they need something to appeal to kids. It's cool that they're having the Netflix series come out, but again, is that going to be like the Machinima thing where it's like after the toy line's already wrapped up?
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only going to be 6 episodes, but so maybe it will get here
sooner rather than later. You would hope.
You can do a lot with 6 episodes. Wasn't Voltron like 6 to 8 episodes per season?
They got shorter as it went on.
Yeah, the first one was 13.
Yeah.
But it's like they had to ditch the ball joints at the hips and the shoulders, and they put pins, universals in there. It's like, all right, there's where your pins went. So now we're going to cheap out on the rest of it for y'all.
I mean, have you ever installed a pin? It's like the easiest thing to do. You just take a center punch. No, it shouldn't cost that much. It's just, maybe
it's the weight, because Starscream feels like Starscream was probably the shortest Voyager, but what they did to compensate is put extra screws. He has a ton of screws.
Yeah,
no other figures has that many screws.
He's like a Beast Wars figure almost. Yeah,
Soundwave though, he doesn't have screws, and they took some of the pins out.
Yeah. Chuck writes that pins are time consuming. I get that they probably are time consuming, but it's you got to spend money to make money, and I mean, Matt, T, Dave, you guys are parents. If you're buying stuff for your kids and they're falling apart,
it's annoying. I mean, I'm a man child. It's annoying when it does it to me.
Yeah,
we won't be buying it. The worst toy from years ago that my son ever got was the Transformers Universe repaint of was it the Mammoth Convoy Nemesis? Nemesis Prime.
Yeah, he was the first Nemesis Prime.
Holy crap! That thing just is in pieces.
That's still a beautiful figure. I have mine. That thing has got some of the best paint work on it of all times.
Yeah.
It was packaged in robot mode, but the transformation was from beast mode to robot mode.
Yeah, that thing is the ultimate shell former.
Yes.
All that Beast Wars 2 stuff with shell formers.
All right. So
my son made me transform it, and then I got it into the mammoth mode. Like 10 minutes later, he was like, "Can you change it back?" I was like, "Heck no."
So
you're talking about getting toys for your kids. I'm not sure if I told you guys this, but I was with my daughter, and we were sitting there talking, and I said, you like all the Harley Quinn stuff. Maybe when you're a little older, I'll just give you all my Harley Quinns. And she's like, "Dad, why are you going to give me action figures?" I'm like, "Because, you like Harley Quinn." She goes, "But I'm a kid." I'm like, what kind of perspective did I give her?
What have I done? I'm a monster.
The Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. I have a spare one. You have any interest in that?
I got the Play Arts Kai of that.
Okay.
That's the one I wanted. The Play Arts Kai I wanted. I never found it cheap though. I missed the boat.
Yeah.
I found her for $40, but I think she dropped down to $20. But of course, she wasn't in Baltimore anymore when that happened.
She never made it to NC, but I found it. I got her at my vintage toy store, Chromac Toys in Raleigh, North Carolina. Absolutely amazing place. One of these days, one of these people I plug is going to hook me up.
Won't be Storm Collectibles.
I saw Collector's Corner, or somebody going by Collector's Corner, tried to join the syndicate today.
Join the syndicate.
Link in the description, but on my channel, not here.
But yeah, I think we could probably move on from the.
Yeah. So there was a very controversial prototype shown off this week, and it's generating a lot of commentary. And it's from a company that I have always liked, and they've been a bit on the upswing. And that is X-Transbots. And so that prototype is the Motormaster. And I can see why it's polarizing some people. Granted, this is a prototype test shot.
They should not have shown it unpainted at all.
I will agree with you right
They
there.
should not have shown it with a white background.
I agree with you right there.
Guess you wouldn't have been able to see it.
There's some ambitious stuff going on with this guy. I mean, they didn't show off the alt mode either. When I say ambitious stuff, I mean like the ab crunch. They're showing off that ab crunch there. And I think that by showing him like that, you make the figure look really gappy. I mean, I don't know what's going on with those. Like why, that just looks incomplete to me. Like with, it looks like the toe's going forward.
I hope to God that thing has ratchets in those in that foot.
Yeah, that's where Keith can be very hit or miss with. I like the scale. I really like the scale, seeing him next to MP10, and I really like how he looks with the Stunticons. Like I think that looks like a really comprehensive team.
And as long as those two guys are blocking his legs, he looks great.
Well, I mean, honestly, like here, right? In this shot, I think in that first shot, something was wacky with the photography. So if you look at the feet here, you look at the torso here, I think this all looks fine. Yeah. It looks like they're using the old X-Transbots hands, which I'm not a fan of at all. I like the fact that they were using Takara style hands on the smaller car bots.
I just hope he's not using old X-Transbots plastic on that thing.
Yeah.
In that picture you were just showing, I could see that they're trying to tell us that the chest is all die-cast and the thighs are all die-cast.
Yeah, I gathered that too. Like, that's one thing about KFC is they don't skimp on the die-cast.
Well, I just still think they shouldn't have shown him unpainted because he looks horrible.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean that, and the fact that it's very plain plastic for this test shot. But I don't necessarily think it looks bad.
Yeah, I still like it, but my only complaint is I'm scared on that ankle forward motion right there.
Yeah.
If that's a pin, he's going to be on the floor.
Because I've got the majority of the stuff that they've released, and like their Octane and Blitzwing, they really didn't have the strongest ankles. I mean, you could argue, well, Motormaster is not a triple changer, but he does need to do three things. He needs to be a truck, a robot, and a combiner piece. So I do kind of worry, is what the tolerance is going to be like. Is that going to be a single pin or ratchet holding the ankles? It's a little bit scary to think about, like what it's going to be. But I think the sculpt work, again, going back to the other shots, where he's a little bit more stoic, I think that looks fine. And I think that the X-Transbots one is going to be my combined set, because I think it's actually supposed to be relatively close to the Zeta combiners, because, I mean, basically all it is Motormaster trailer makes a big skeleton, and they all kind of, just pop into it.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I've never been a fan of Menasor for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't blame you there. I mean,
yeah, we have to blame the cartoon for that.
Yeah. I've always really loved Predaking. I think he's probably my favorite because he's like the most functional, and the most liberties can be taken because it's just, it's robotic animals that form a big, kaiju looking robot.
Well, the Stunticons are like a set of bad Power Rangers.
They are. They really are.
Which, in itself, I think that could be a neat thing to take on fiction-wise. I always liked the IDW look with the huge freaking cannons on his shoulders, which the ones that Fans Project did years ago.
Yes.
I actually love that design, except that Motormaster was so scary flimsy.
Yeah, the reviews scared me off. When I seen them combining him together, I was like, oh hell no.
Oh, when I combined mine, it scared the crap out of me because it was the waist was handled by one thin little piece of plastic. I would love an oversized KO of that one, or a reattack to that particular aesthetic, because I love those cannons on the mode.
So, Dave, you do know that the Fans Toys one is going to have an IDW mode.
It's going to have like the IDW faceplate and all, but it's not going to have I like that Motor Master with those.
Oh, I mean, you're talking about like individual robots?
All of it, yeah. I thought it was just a really well done.
Yeah,
well, it's like I like Quantron. With Quantron, how the motorcycle, how his hammer becomes like this missile launcher and stuff. It was just a very functional combiner design. But even then, the Stunticons were just that. It was a trailer who was basically, he was like a skinny robot who had gaps that you plug the cars in, like they were his muscles, which
were they
actually in a way that's kind of cool
then?
fiction wise. Again, huh?
Were they $100 a piece back then?
They were like 60, but then they were chug size.
See, he's got the IDW. He's got the IDW option.
Okay, yeah, I kind of like that, but right now, it's Fans Toys. I don't. It's
that's the other interesting thing too. Is I like Fans Toys. I own every single one of their releases, with the exception of that Optimus Prime, the MPO1 trailer. I just never got that. I never had a need for it. But they don't have any proven track record with combiners yet, and technically X-Transbots doesn't either. But they have done well, if you count KFC, they have done the Victory Leo, and that piece was really successful. So if they have that, the Victory Saber, if they have that to the same standard, and that was an interesting one because it combined with an official piece.
Well, we all know it had an awesome designer.
Yes, that is another factor there too.
That is a solid factor. Who engineered it? Now that we've had that insight on that kind of things, I'd love to get more designers. By the way, if any of you guys would watch this,
yeah.
But that's a big factor. Who designs it? What is their aesthetic? What is their design? Like I said, Quantron and that Menasor were actually the same designer.
Yeah.
And the Quantron, you could tell he found his failures in the Menasor, and they were addressed in Quantron.
Quantron.
Yes.
I keep thinking Quantron.
Computron. Make Toys Computron. Regarded as a lot of people love that combiner.
I'm still I mean, I really can't bring myself to part with it.
So, T, I know you started with the Stunticons. Are you in for completing them?
I want them all. I definitely want Drag Strip.
Because I know Drag Strip and Dead End. I know
Dead End's coming out. Dead End.
Yeah.
Dead End. Dead End. Dead End. Dead End.
I know those two are slated for like April and May, and then again then we have to deal with the wait for Motor Master. The one thing I do like is that they made the availability of these guys like a non-issue, and it's like for the same thing with the G2 ones. Like you can still go to Toy Dojo and get the G2 breakdown, and you can get the G2 Wild Rider still. So they're not really making them scarce. They're making them like if you want them, you can get them. And the other thing I enjoy too about the X-Transbots offering is it's not that expensive. It's about Zeta pricing.
Their price has been creeping up, hasn't it? I know the first release was $39, then $49, and what, these are $69?
It depends on your retailer.
Wasn't that the plan though?
Probably.
I mean, well, the first one that was like a tester.
Yeah.
That was the free hit.
The first taste is always cheap.
A friend price. But I like them. I like them a lot. I like the engineering so far. I like the sculpts. I like the articulation. I really think, if you're going X-Transbots and fans toys, just like, for the other stuff with the Autobots, I've gone, X-Transbots for, not X-Transbots, I've gone Zeta for the Superion, and I'll do fans toys for the aerial bots. I'll probably do MMC for my Bruticus for the individual Combaticons. So
it's funny because, again, with this X-Transbots one, because I will always, and I've held Toro, and Toro impressed me. I'm going to say that right now. Toro impressed me. But I've always been a bias against that whole the whole Keith crew. I'm sorry.
That's fair. I mean, they soured a lot of people with releases,
and so it's just I'm almost scared that you've got solid, and this is the one that which ironically is the core part, is going to be built like Transistor. It's going to be built like, not engineered of, but built like, where it's going to look really good. And then
so it's funny you say that. It's like I've been into the kind of renaissance of Keith and everything, but you're absolutely right. There is that risk, and I won't blame anybody for not buying into this, because they've been burned by the company a couple times. And Nate commented that he likes Transistor. I like Transistor as well. I like the other releases of Transistor, like the Shattered Glass and the what was this? The Sound Blaster version.
Oh yeah,
or not Sound Blaster, the Twin Cast version.
I got to play with the original shiny Transistor, and that thing felt like trash.
Yeah, but it looked gorgeous. Apollyon looked gorgeous.
Yeah. I forced myself to like that toy, to be honest.
I think a lot of us just kind of gave it a pass because it did at the time, it did the impossible. And I mean, you can't really say that Megatron is an easy character to engineer. And so it did the impossible. It had a massive parts count, massive accessories count. It filled a void that we didn't necessarily know was going to be filled, because, I mean, let's face it, like, it's kind of odd, the way gun laws are, and toy gun laws and imports, and there's just kind of retailer paranoia. So it seemed really surreal that Takara even released MP36. But at the time, like, every talking head out there was like, yeah, this is it. This is your chance to own a Masterpiece Megatron that scales with Masterpiece Optimus Prime.
And that's, Matt, give me your 2 cents on this. Which would you rather have? The placeholder there that doesn't accomplish it, or just not have the placeholder at all?
I've never been one for placeholders.
So
I get getting one and then being more impressed by another release down the road. That's fine. But if you genuinely like dislike the way something is, and you're getting it just to stay on the shelf as a character, like, you do what you want, but that's not me.
Well, let's say, because let's go with Dragon Ball. That Ginyu came out, right?
Yes.
The not Ginyu came out.
Yes.
What if you handled him and he felt like 2/3 lighter, and you saw in the reviews that the pegs were fragile for switching out the hands and such? Would you still have gotten him just to have a Ginyu?
I will say I did get him for free. So
no. Okay.
But
okay,
yes, if I was
Jace, if it was Jace, just because I know minor DBZ character who still had an impact.
I mean, I guess just from your what you're saying, the fragility right there would be the thing that put me off. I mean, especially with the Dragon Ball figures, like, it's one thing to look good. Like, I can get I can see masterpiece Transformers. Like if it looks good, it's fine. But almost apples to oranges there, because Dragon Ball figures are made to be dynamic. I need to be able to take them out and pose them dynamically. So if that's
we need to be able to transform our figures without them breaking.
Well, and that's the whole argument about, do you transform your figures? Where I know some people take it from, like Fans Toys things, from box to shelf, and it never happens. So
okay.
I get what you're saying. I agree. But no, to answer your question, right? Stand-in figures is not for me. I mean, I'm looking at them now. Like I say that though, but like Dragon Stars, for instance. Like I wouldn't go out and get a Dragon Star figure just to have that person sit on the shelf. I could have done that for like First Form Frieza. You know, you could do that. I just rather wait it out. I don't know. I know,
and that's just kind of like with Apollyon. Was Apollyon a placeholder? Even though, if we never knew that we were going to get him, the gun Megatron, is it worth it?
At the time, it was.
I think that's what I would say. Is that definitely falls into the purview of, this is probably the best we're ever going to get, so absolutely jump on it. Because who could have known? Like Make Toys, what the hell is Make Toys' Megatron called?
Despotron.
Despotron. Who would have known Despotron would come out, and then the official MP36?
Yeah, I never thought the official one was ever coming out. That's why I jumped on Apollyon.
And then the first release, is it MP05, the original masterpiece Megatron?
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, would you guys agree that was probably their first misstep, their first masterpiece? Like, meh.
No, I'd say MP03 was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were getting misses right out the gate with the first 10.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate that as the first attempt, and then they refined it since. And you could argue that you probably wouldn't have MP36 without the first MP05 attempt at it.
Well, I think that really it was okay at the time that MP05 was made. It was like, okay, with the there was less controversy with it. It was comedically oversized, and it was like I said, we didn't get the story about MP05, how it was designed in 2 weeks, until well after the fact. And so it like seemed, from an engineering stance, it seemed like it was the impossible.
Yeah, we thought it was the best that they could do.
Yeah. And I think they told us it was the best that they could do, even though it was only done in 2 weeks. And I think engineering's come a long way. I mean, you look at the way, at the paranoia with gun laws, you have an unrealistic thing like all the Shockwave figures now, they will not advertise the blaster mode, a laser blaster, even though it's less realistic than a Nerf gun.
Oh, 6-shot does turn into a submarine.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. 6-shot turns into a submarine. 6-gun turns, or not 6-gun. What was his name? Quick Switch. They also had him turn into a submarine. So it seemed like it was something that they weren't going to put all the money in engineering for a niche market, and that's what we are, is a very niche market. It just seemed like it wasn't going to happen, and so. To answer, I know you're playing devil's advocate, Dave, but to answer your question, it seemed like less of a placeholder when you're talking about a major character. I mean, obviously, Prime and Megatron are the two main characters, and when you're talking about those two characters, I mean, for Christ's sake, you had people using Combiner Wars Megatron as a placeholder at the time too.
Yeah,
they were that desperate.
It was a good figure though, especially with that add-on kit.
Yeah, and I mean it was this, it was close to being in scale with Prime, and had that shiny silver paint, but yeah, I mean, that's how hungry people were for something to stand alongside MP10.
And it was about as posable as MP05.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like we get into this with placeholders for minor characters. Like, really, at the end of the day, who really gives a rat's ass about the Stunticons? I mean, they have fans and people want the representation, but it's like, when we start getting into like worrying, like, are my Stunticons going to be perfect?
Are you saying like Stunticons individual figures where everybody's buying is really from Menasor?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, people care more about Menasor than they do,
Wild
Rider, Breakdown, Drag Strip, because it's like Menasor more than the individual components. Same with, I'd say Devastator's probably the only one that you can argue a little bit more. You get more screen time with the individual components, especially.
Actually, I was going to say the opposite. The Stunticons, I think they did a good job of.
I was going to say the opposite too.
Well, and I was going to say too, like with the Constructicons, I mean, in my opinion, that their alt modes, like if you're going to have just the characters in the alt modes, like that's construction vehicles are kind of unexciting when it comes to like having really souped up sports cars. I would rather have or the aerial bots, those would be the ones I'd really be excited to display in like a squadron.
That's a fair point.
I think of all the combiners, the Stunticons actually were fleshed out the most. Second was the Combaticons, and third will be the aerial bots.
I feel like the aerial bots was more fleshed out than any of those. And then the Stunticons, then the Combaticons. Combaticons is mostly Swindle.
Who's awesome.
But sometimes that's all you need, though, right? It's just the buy-in on the story on the one character, just to endear you to the rest of them.
Yeah, was it Slingshot who worked with the Prince?
And they had Silverbolt, who everybody remember him as being the one that was scared of heights.
Scared of heights, yeah. I was about to bring that up.
I thought that was Slingshot that was scared of heights.
No, it was Silverbolt. It was the leader of the team.
Oh,
yeah, they were making it a big deal. Like, you're the leader and you're afraid.
It's like turning into a boat and being seasick. Oh, wait.
Wait a second.
That didn't work for him either. It didn't work so well. Broadside.
That's goofy.
And then you had Cosmos that had the fear of being alone. And all they did was have him patrol all by himself up in the atmosphere in space.
And he sounded like Igor.
All he wanted was a friend, and goddamn it, they said, "All right, off by yourself. Go up and spy."
Ironically, Aftertrain was bulimic.
Jesus Christ. So Nate chimed in. He said the aerobots were more fleshed out than Headmasters. I've never actually seen the Japanese Headmaster series. So.
Oh, it's painful.
But interesting that they go back and revisit some season 2 characters.
The combiner in Headmasters, the combiners actually did a lot, but mostly in their combined modes. But they were there a lot because they tried using those to sell those Scrambled City toys.
Yeah. So
I was super shocked to find that out when I was older that Transformers kept going on in Japan.
Oh yeah, I remember. Did you ever stumble across like Galaxy Convoy and all that?
I'd never seen. Oh, the one from.
You mean Star Convoy?
Star Convoy, yeah, Star Convoy.
No, I didn't see any of that stuff till the internet, like in the early 2000s.
Well, I mean, that's where I found out that it all kept going on.
Shit, I didn't even know there was a movie until the internet. Like when I got back into it, and it's like, what the fuck is the Transformers movie? And then I ordered it, and here I sit with you all.
It was
Wow.
eBay did me in because I was able to get the videos of Master Force, Victory, Headmasters, and Zone. Zone is something else.
Oh well, what Hasbro Toy Shop wasn't always called Hasbro Toy Shop, right?
I thought it was. I think it might have just been Hasbro.com.
Yeah, I remember getting the Japanese Galvatron, the Beast Wars 2 Galvatron from there. I wound up with like 4 of them. Like,
What?
I think they were selling it for $20.
Yeah, it was incredibly. It was $30.
I think when I bought it, it was $20 and it was buy one get one free. So I accidentally ordered 2, so I wound up with 4 for $40.
I'm looking at mine right now. That is still one of the goofiest figures.
I loved it though. I loved the little marble in his chest.
and he transforms into a
dragon dildo.
Yes, I didn't want to say it, but that's exactly what it looks like.
I mean, now Magmatron I thought was actually one of my favorite.
Yeah, and I like the fact he got a widespread release at Target.
Some of them I didn't know about until there was some store in Towson Town Center that sold the Beast Wars 2 figures.
Wasn't Pandora's?
Are you talking about that import store that used to be in Towson Town?
Yeah.
Yep, I got my alternators from them.
Alternators.
They had I wound up, and I still regret this. I bought Binotech Hound out of there for $80.
I still have Binotech Hound mint and sealed box.
Don't ever open it.
He is my favorite alternator by far.
He was the first alternator.
That Hound.
Somebody traded me Alternator's Hound, and I was looking at them side by side, and I was like, besides one has diecast, there's absolutely no difference. The paint was just as good on the Alternator's version. It wasn't like Smokescreen. Smokescreen, it was a definite, like, I felt like dirty that I was playing with the way cheaper looking version. I was like, why didn't they use that shiny chrome paint on him?
Yeah. My favorite is still the Meister and Shock and Laser Wave.
Yeah, they're mine. Well, I like Skids.
Grimlock's my favorite.
For a time, I liked Mirage more, but then I played with it later, and I was like, oh, how did I like this? The doors are all in the way, and the chest doesn't stay together at all. His guns are stupid.
So,
what else are we talking about?
Speaking of stupid, has anybody been reading about what's been going on with the Transformers cinematic universe?
The back and forth where one minute is a reboot and 1 minute is not.
They don't fucking know.
Yeah, they have no idea. So now there's talks of a sequel to The Last Night.
Yay.
There was a recent interview with...
It ended on a cliffhanger.
It did end on a cliffhanger. But Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, he's the... I believe is he the producer of the movies?
I think so.
Yeah, he's the series producer. And so he was asked, is Transformers Bumblebee a reboot or a prequel? And he said, that's a good question. And laughed. He goes, it is in fact a spin-off. It is a story before the series set in 1987. In other words, neither a reboot nor a remake, but a story before the 2007 movie starts. But there's so many different things that happen.
Yeah.
I mean... You know,
I heard he also said that the next movie is going to be a sequel, but it's a reboot. The one that's supposed to be the sequel to The Last Night.
Right. And I mean, the other thing, too, is that the original Transformers movie, Prime, doesn't come to Earth until 2007.
Yeah.
You know, they really should just take this and the reception as a clean slate and move forward. Like, this dude, like, I don't think he's good for the series.
No, they had it. They had their break. Like, they had our buy-in.
Yeah.
You know, they brought everybody else on board. People are actively praising the Rotten Tomatoes score on it is well above any of the other ones. It's just like, what are y'all doing, man? You got us. Like, you had us in the first 5 minutes. That's all we want.
They want more Bayham and the Bumblebee too, whatever that means. I hope he just means more action instead of Bumblebee being stupid in the background.
Yeah, I don't mind the whole idea of more action. Like, what we got in Bumblebee, I think, was very well paced and delivered. I just think that if you're going to have the action, you need to know who the characters are. And, you know, if you're doing a sequel to Bumblebee, at least know who the characters are. And you can keep track of what's going on screen and the motivation, how you get there, and the why.
Give him a new voice box.
Yeah. We'll think of that.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they could just have Ratchet fix that from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did fix it.
He did fix it, but continuity in the... I mean, there's a good question. What has worse continuity? The X-Men movies or the Transformers movies?
Transformers.
Every new movie, they were on Earth before they were on Earth every time. And what was I thinking about? I do like the idea they're saying that the next Bumblebee movie will be a buddy cop movie with him and Optimus. Seeing Optimus with more of a personality would be awesome.
And not have him murder everybody.
The last movie, the last Transformers, they didn't even bother giving Megatron a reformatting scene. It's just like, yep, he's different now.
Yeah, you all will accept that he has a new mode and just go with it.
We're just going to abandon the idea that he's sparkless. And oh, by the way, he met Quintessa somehow, and that's how he got that red smear on his face. And
oh Lord, that movie disappointed me so much. But we already
so much potential.
I was like, I thought they were going to explain how he became Megatron. I thought they were going to explain why Optimus looked like a knight.
Nope.
But he just scanned the truck, and all of a sudden he was a knight with a sword.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think
okay.
The biggest problem was it's a franchise called Transformers, and the 5 Bay movies did one thing. They spent a lot of time with human characters that you didn't give a rat's ass about. And they spent zero time establishing, anything as far as the Transformers backstories or really going in depth with their personalities. In the Travis Knight movie, they created human characters you cared about, but they weren't really the forefront of the movie. The forefront of the movie was Bumblebee, and you got enough of what his motivations are, where he's at, what's going on. They did the whole, losing the voice and amnesia trope, but they effectively just kind of made a movie that was a retelling of E.T., and I think it was incredibly effective. And then him rediscovering who he is and what he can do. I mean, I really love the scene where he gets curious and goes through Charlie's house and he's knocking shit over. And
did you see the deleted scene version of that?
Yeah, with the GoBots.
Yeah, I didn't like those things. No, what it was supposed to be when he stuck his finger in an electrical socket.
A rehash of the crap from the second movie where all the appliances came to life.
Except they looked way worse. They weren't even rope Transformers. They were just a refrigerator that was alive.
Oh, I'm glad they cut that out then.
Yeah. The deleted scene is really fleshed out. It's just not fully rendered and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the GoBot scene was funny too.
First Transformers movie. All right, it's great. And it's like second one. All the stuff we didn't find funny. Let's make more of that.
Yeah, Some worse.
And then snowball it. Third one.
Mud flap.
And then
we don't read.
They did absolutely nothing. They did absolutely nothing.
Well, they stopped Devastator by mistake.
They had no purpose in that movie.
Well, they helped to stop the Devastator was shot by a railgun that just happened to be in range and just happened to take a phone call from a guy they never heard of or had authorization to use it, who happened to know their number. Am I remembering that right? Here, let me call this ship that's out there to shoot it.
You had RC, you had Sideswipe, you had Jolt, but they took the twins.
Yeah, right.
Now, one movie, in Age of Extinction, I felt like they went out of the way to give the Autobots more screen time and more personality, but they were all jerks.
Yeah, they were all assholes.
I was like, ugh, it made me feel embarrassed. Like, why would they act like that? Like, you have Drift and Bumblebee fighting each other. I didn't like any of that.
Yeah,
like, my son definitely, he was like, he didn't like Drift because he was fighting Bumblebee.
I just really hope they stay the course with this stuff. It's like, they have a golden opportunity to get this franchise back on track and make, movies that are good. And this producer, I think he is not in their best interests.
Nope, they should just get rid of all the original people, to be honest.
or just
or make him. They might not have came to a solid decision on that reboot thing, but they still had to interview him anyway.
Maybe. I hope you're right with that. But
this is kind of like when reviewers get a third-party test shot or a sample or a prototype.
They remind you that it's,
and they go through all this stuff, and they're assuring you all this stuff that's definitely going to be fixed on the final release, and
then it's not.
Ever is. Yeah.
Some of them, I'll just be like, "Why are you saying that this isn't final? That toy is obviously final."
Yeah, they ain't changing that shit. Yeah.
Oh, fun thing, T-Man, when you get Prowl, they actually detailed the inside of his doors.
So
nice touch. I just panel lined them, but it's a nice touch.
Before we wrap up, I do want to talk about the new Endgame trailer that came out and how you guys are feeling about it.
Didn't look at it.
Didn't want
to be spoiled.
Oh man! So you didn't even.
And the part that they're purposely saying they're giving out misinformation.
Are you talking about the Who's Left?
I have no idea because I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
I got the impression.
It made me more interested, to be honest.
I mean, most of us have full buy-in anyway, right?
Yeah.
Most of us. I will say that I like the trailer, and then when they actually came out and said that a good portion, if not all of it, was film footage that was not in the final movie, I liked it even better because it gave you a taste without ruining anything. I would hope, I'm hoping that they take lessons from trailers lately, where trailers spoil the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
and they're easing it back. It sounds like that's what they're ended up. That sounds like that's what their approach is. They know they're gonna have people come watch it. You can't not have a trailer though, right? I mean,
yeah.
I know.
They have to have a marketing campaign.
They're taking a Star Wars approach because the last episode 7 and 8, watching those trailers, I had no clue what the movie was about.
Right, and that's the best possible way to go into it, right? In fact, I think was it one of the guys had said that they remember going into. I might be getting this. I'll tell the story. They remember going into Empire Strikes Back before the internet, before all this crap where everybody knew everything, and the sense of wonder that they felt watching the movie, having known nothing about it beforehand, is what they want people to come to their movie with.
Yeah.
Well, that was like The Matrix did that. Nobody had any idea what the hell was going on when that came out. God, it's 20 years old.
Yeah, we old.
Or the best trailer of all time, in my opinion, the most successful teaser trailer that was ever made. Independence Day.
Yeah, it gave you a sizzle reel without giving you.
When that trailer came out of just ships, laser blast, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I need to see what that is.
Because back then, it was almost taboo to do something like blow up the White House. I'm serious. That was yeah. I mean, back then that was a graven image sort of thing. The whole concept.
They showed that in the trailer.
Yeah, that was
the trailer.
Yeah,
I remember Star Fox 64 came out and they did the same thing. They had that strip pop over the building. I was like, oh man, that's a blatant ripoff.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder what that is. Yeah,
such an iconic thing to have a spaceship come in and blow. I mean, how do if you put that in the trailer, it's you're like, man, where the hell does this movie go? And with Endgame, it's just they're. I mean, I think the worst thing they did was having stuff come out for Spider-Man: Far From Home and announcing all those other movies.
Yeah.
Because it's
we already knew. There's no way.
You already knew.
I was gonna say there's no one that can honestly think that they're gonna stay dead.
The casual folks out there.
No, when Spider-Man died, I felt like, oh man, what if the deal is over? But then once Black Panther died too, I was like, that coming back. Especially with all the money Black Panther made.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm excited for it, and it's funny too. Pixar for years has been having misleading trailers. Giving you. It's not stuff that doesn't happen in the movie, but like when I saw WALL-E, I thought it was going to be about a robot wandering a wasteland, not about like what the obesity epidemic's going to do.
And us being stuck to the social networks.
Well, yeah. I mean, Christ, that movie, if you think about it, it's pretty profound. It's like it's offending people now, but yeah. People being glued behind screens and not, having social interactions and,
as we talk to each other on screen.
Yeah, and then of course, like what as far as an environmental aspect of what's what's happening, it's.
Toy Story 4's trailers show way more than I expected them to show.
Yeah, but I guarantee when you go see the movie, it's going to be a different story than Bonnie makes her own toy and they get lost again. I don't think it's going to be a retread of the first movie. I think it's going to be something far different.
I gotta tell you though, based on that first trailer that came out, well, the first full-length trailer, I'm not super impressed. Just doesn't seem like my cup of tea yet. And I liked all the Toy Story movies.
I think the trailer just makes it seem like it's going to be more of a it's going to be a retread of the first movie. I don't think it's going to be, but I mean, basically that amusement park is kind of like Pizza Planet. The whole concept of them getting lost again.
And will Woody actually stay this time?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And you find out that Bonnie isn't all that important.
Right? You're no Andy.
You know what they've never gotten into, and I think that you could have a whole 3 more movies about it, is someone finding out that they're alive and then dealing with that. Because the only one that's ever seen them move has been Sid, and they kind of played that off as a plot point, and they just moved on from it. They never revisited it.
I think like my theory about it is that's kind of where it's going to go, right? Because like this toy that gets created out of crafts and all, it's like, what is life? How do we get created? And it's confused about what it is. And obviously that's one thing they never really touched base on in the movies was like, how do these toys come to life? Like, what constitute them becoming sentient objects?
Yeah, I was watching something that was talking about that. They said, here I am, I play with my pen all the time. Like, now, is it alive now that I made it a toy? Or do you have to put eyes on it?
Well, you say that, but then you have Sid's toys that were like literally broken apart, busted apart, and remade. Like, right? What is it? What constitutes? And you're getting awfully existential here, but I mean, what constitutes one toy over another? What parts of one toy ends up being the part that stays? That's the toy's personality, and and where did this, like you said, where did this spoon come from as a individual?
If you put Mr. Potato Head's facial parts on something else, he's still Mr. Potato Head.
Right. And what if you put new facial parts on his old body? Then what happens?
Right, exactly.
And what would happen if they walked into T-Man's Fison collection?
I could tell you that those army men would have a good time.
Mm-hmm. There'd be a whole bunch of sensor bars.
Oh, God. Well, I think that's a good note to end this.
Trust me, I could have taken these jokes a whole different direction.
Oh, boy.
For anybody listening, I only have one, and they're called TB League now.
Well, let's get out of the panel and get some where you at, starting with True Starscreamer.
What's up, everybody? Of course, you can find me on Instagram at True Starscreamer, where I will be trying to be painting the Professor Xavier chair this weekend, so that should look pretty cool. And of course, you saw this stuff in the hall. It all needs to be photographed. You can find me on on Xbox, True Starscreamer, where I will next month destroy everybody in Mortal Kombat.
Except me.
And you can catch me playing Apex Legends because it's a fun game. And on the Facebooks at David Lutwack because that's who I am. And every Thursday with, these guys.
And coming soon to his own YouTube channel, The Cooking with Chew Starscreamer.
Chew Starscreamer.
Choose Stars.
I'll have to do an open poll for names on that cooking channel. That's going to be, if that actually launches, it's going to launch at the end of the summer. So,
No, there's no way Kira's going to let you do that by yourself.
oh heck no!
Gonna lunch at the end of the summer.
What, exploit a child for views on YouTube? What kind of cruel person would do that?
Oh wait, before you put it on there, they'll shut your comments down.
Oh
You
God!
won't be able to comment.
True, very true.
Partsformer, how about you? Where can people find you at?
I've been most active on Instagram here lately. I've been having a good time taking some pictures here and there. I like posting them. So you can find me on Instagram at Partsformer, Xbox Live at Partsformer, but I've barely been existence on video games here lately. It's just, I got a lot of stuff, as everybody does, and something had to be cut out for a while, and that is what I decided to cut out for now to make some time. But that's my sob story. Partsformer on Twitter, and then here with you guys Thursdays.
Very cool. Now, with TMan, we probably don't need any explanation, but just in case people don't know.
You can find me on YouTube at TMan.
T9.
And for the people that don't know, this is a little gray patch. It's not a bald spot. When I watch this footage back and I do like this, I'm like, it looks like a bald spot. Unless it is.
You got that panel lining pen?
Yeah, just use that.
Shit.
You see some panel lines right up there, top of your head.
I'll touch it up. A little bit of dry brushing on top with some gray, you know.
I might make it worse. Manual, TMan978 everywhere. Google me.
As for me, you can find me in the Facebook groups as James Jordan. You can find me on Instagram as Extra Zero. You can find me on Twitter at The Original Zero. And Xbox Live and PlayStation Network as Extra Zero. I will be on Mortal Kombat 11 on PlayStation, trying to show Dave what where my skills.
When does it come out?
The 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be on there too.
Oh, the beta actually started tonight.
Ew. And I didn't download it.
Yeah, if you pre-ordered it, you should get that.
I lost my receipt. I don't have the code anymore.
Where'd you pre-order from? GameStop?
GameStop.
Just call them and tell them you lost your code. They'll send you a new one.
It's 11 o'clock. They're not going to answer the phone.
Call them tomorrow is what I mean.
Nate said TMan chill reviews just for men. Sorry, I just all that.
And as always, we are Figure Action. For everybody that participated in the live chat, thank you so much for popping by. We really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you like what we're doing. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and the notification bell along with it. Again, if you haven't entered the contest, make sure you go back to episode 36 and type in hashtag Studio Series Prime, and we'll be sure to have the live drawing on the on the 5th. So did I announce the 4th or the 5th? I think I announced the 5th.
5th.
The 5th, yeah. So we'll do it outside of the show, but we'll still have it as live drawing. Go through, get all of the tallies. And I think the 5th works because that gives anybody watching next week's show the opportunity to enter.
And subscribe.
Subscribe. So yeah, make sure you're
hit the notification bell.
Well, that metric we can't track, so you will have to be subscribed. And look forward to having that so Lance can stop bothering me about, well, when are you going to send the prize pack out? But make sure you check out Forgotten Path Games in California, as Lance was very, very cool to provide us with some goodies to give away. Anyway, that does it for tonight's episode. Hope to see everybody back again next week. And peace out and have a good week.
See you guys.
Bye.